Hi, good morning. My name is Iriyansyah and my student's number is 18110402 and 42. Well, in this video, I would like to give you the review of some stories and books that I have read before for many times ago. They are Killstagram, Naruto, and then one of the most popular speaking book that has written by A.J. Hogg titled Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. And now, let's move on to the first story, which is called Killstagram. Killstagram, which has released in May 2019, is a webtoon that presents a horror and thriller nuances according and due to its title. Killstagram tells the reader about a girl named Doremi who is an Instagram artist. By the time it's begin, everything just being fun as well. She is gaining popularity in cyberspace. However, trouble comes when his best friend suddenly disappears and is apparently killed by someone. Remy trying to everything to find out who was the killer. Then she found out that he was the target of the killer. A series of action chases are presented in each episode. Readers are brought to feel what Remy feels, such as fear of being chased, hiding, and so on. The writer of Killstagram, Ryong, is able to bring the reader into atmosphere of the story. He also received various positive comments from readers. Killstagram also provides the reader some lessons and messages at the beginning of the story, namely the impact of social media. Excessive social media play can lead to crime. In the story, Remy, who is accustomed to uploading photos of himself in places and giving information about where the crime was triggered. This story has reached its ends in a couple months ago, and it ended up with the unexpected ending. Well, if you want to know more about this story, you can probably read it by around from webtoon site anytime. And also, the comic has already existed using the Indonesian language. But basically, there are some of the moral messages that you should know about this story. They are: number 1, the happiness that we feel by uploading content on social media is just an artificial. Number 2, our serenity can be threatened if you did post your privacy matters too often on social media. Number 3, live the way you are, because being famous doesn't always make you happy. Like and comment being a bad addicted. And number 4, at last, social media is not always be a safe place to express ourselves. And the next book that I have read is Naruto. Mostly, I watch it on television series. Naruto is a manga and anime created by Masashi Kishimoto. It tells the story of life by the main character, Naruto Uzumaki, a teenage ninja who is noisy, hyperactive, and ambitious, and his adventure in realizing his desire to get the title of Hokage, the strongest ninja in his village. Naruto manga was first published in Japan by Shueisha in 1999 in the 40th issue of Shonen Jump. While in Indonesia, the manga is published by Alex Media Computindo. A few years back, before the story began, a nine-tailed fox monster named Kyuubi attacks Konoha, a shinobi village located in the Land of Fire. Chaos occurred in the village of Konoha and many victims fell. Finally, there was someone who managed to seal the Kyuubi into Naruto's body. Someone who succeeded in sealing the tailed fox was known as Yondaime Hokage, or Namikaze Minato, who was none other than the father from Naruto itself. So strong was the Kyuubi that the sealing had to be fade by the death of the Yondaime Hokage himself. And then, the story began with teenager named Naruto Uzumaki, who often caused trouble in the village of Konoha. Naruto did this because he won the attention of the villagers who were away from him because of the fox in his body. Naruto was then tricked by a traitor to steal a secret scroll from the third Hokage, or Sarutabi. The innocent Naruto did this and managed to steal and learn 1,000 shadows. After knowing that he was being used, Naruto refused to give the scroll. Naruto is then helped by the Iruka teacher, who is Naruto's favorite teacher. He was the one who first acknowledged Naruto's existence, because in the past Iruka's teacher had experienced the same thing, namely life without parents and always shrouded in loneliness. But as the time goes by, people finally can accept him because of his teacher Iruka sensei. Naruto then graduated to become a genin and in a team with Sasuke and Sakura, and commanded by the teacher Hatake Kakashi. Since after that, they always did a mission together, until Sasuke left the Konoha after the Uchiha accident, where his older brother killed all of his own family. Since they be apart, Naruto promised to Sakura to bring Sasuke back to Konoha as well. As the time goes on, they become stronger and through the hard time, facing the strong enemy, lose somebody they love, and some certain accident that cause pain. And we jump into Naruto Shippuden story. Begin with Naruto's coming home after some training in Myoboku Mountain with a frog hermit. In this Shippuden series, where Naruto faced so many strong enemies as his purpose to bring Sasuke back, Pain, Orochimaru, and the third ninja war, where they are faced Uchiha Madara and Kabuto, which mastermind by Black Zetsu as the son of Kaguya Otsutsuki. It's a bit complicated to tell, but at last they together, Naruto and Sasuke, finally beat them, and we move to the last fight of it between Naruto and Sasuke to finish their unfinished business. Honestly, it was the saddest scene that I have ever seen, and I was crying at the moment. Well, to be honest, almost of Naruto episode I was mad to be crying, but to see Sasuke's crying because of Naruto, it was more than enough to make us cry. And the story ends. And if you want to see the full scene of this series, you can buy the comic or else download it from any sources. And the last is a book that I have read for a few weeks ago called Effortless English, Learn to Speak English Like a Native. It was a book that written by one of the men which called as #1 English teacher in the world, A.J. Hogg. To be honest, I was just read the first one chapter of the entire chapter in this book. Totally, there was 23 chapters are listed in this book. In the very first chapter of it, entitled A Better Way to Learn English, the writer tells us a bit about his experience in teaching English. He tells us that for what he have learned by teaching English in Japan, why the people still cannot speak English even if he does know every tenses or else grammar rules, is because of we have been teaching by the wrong way and by the wrong method. He describes how he found the right method to teach English, especially in speaking skill. Then he figured out words that say we acquire language when we understand what people tell us and that we read. There is no need for deliberate memorization. If most of us knew intuitively that the best way to learn English was naturally, I wondered why were so many teachers and students still choosing to use unnatural, ineffective, and old methods of teaching. Then he describes the method he found, named Effortless English. Well, if you want to know more about this book, you can probably download it from any sources, or if you have more money, you may buy them as well. Alright, those are the review of 3 books that I have read. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and so do I. Hope that this can be beneficial for us in general, and especially me as the presenter. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.